What's going on? This is Mark here, the world's strongest man, and you're watching AMBY.
Hey everyone, it's Alicia from AMBY, and I would like to welcome you to my interview with the one and only Mark Henry. Hello.
One and only. How you doing?
I'm fantastic. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
I want to say thank you so much for joining me today. It's an absolute
Well,
treat.
thank you for having me. I mean, I get to sit next to a pretty lady and just chat it up.
Well, I think I'm excited to chat it up. It's gonna be good. I have a good feeling going on right here.
Chat it up with Mark Henry.
I know that when you first started wrestling, it was in your early 20s, and the best piece of advice that you were given was just how to conduct yourself as a human being in front of so many people. So, did that come fairly easily to you, or was the attention a bit difficult starting out?
I was raised pretty good. My mom did a really good job with me. I grew up around the church. I have a strong belief in a higher power, and I've always tried to do the right thing. I didn't always do the right thing, but I tried real hard. And anytime that I get the words from somebody that has a lot more wisdom than I do, hey, this is the steps you need to take. Don't go left, go right. Like I follow directions. Yeah.
Well, growing up, one of your all-time faves was Andre the Giant. So what about that connected or resonated with you? Because I know growing up you were also the taller kid in class always. So is there some kind of connection deep down?
Well, I mean, him being such a big guy, like I was the biggest kid, and people used to pick on me for it. And I always knew that maybe if I grew up and was like Andre, that people would love me and respect me. And a lot of that, there was a lot of truth to that, but there was a lot of work that went behind being the strongest man in the world and becoming the size that I became. So it worked out.
Did the bullying kind of push you to as well want to get into more so like lifting and the wrestling aspect, just so you knew deep down you kind of had that protection aspect? Or?
You know what? The bullying tended to be motivation for me to work harder, but it was never like I'll show you.
A payback type of thing.
Yeah, it was never that. It was I always wanted to be the strongest guy in the world because of after watching the Olympics and seeing Vasily Alexiev like that. I mean, it was over for me.
Well, there you had mentioned that you are the strongest man in the world, so I have to talk about that just a little bit. With all of the training that went into it, and even on the wrestling aspect of things, I know you had your fair share of injuries that you powered through, and your perseverance through everything is just absolutely incredible, because there's some serious stuff. So what would you say is one of the worst injuries or bumps you had to take from it?
They're all equal.
Yeah, really?
Broke my ankle, had surgery on both knees, torn ligaments, had torn labrum in both shoulders, had both shoulders fixed. I'm like the bionic man.
I was just about to say that. So they're all equal. I mean, I'm sure when you're in the moment of it, pain's just pain, right?
Well, I mean, some pains are worse than others. Some you can bear with. When I tore my quad, that was like one of the more painful, and dislocating my shoulder. I would pop it back in, and I would keep going, but it would hurt so much worse the next day.
You have to pull a lethal weapon and run into something.
I did that in the ring before.
Really?
It dislocated, and I ran into the corner and popped it back in, and finished the match. But it was one of the more regretful things I did because I had to have surgery after that because I think that was when I really made it worse.
Well, kudos to you for at least pulling through, and I mean that's a.
I'm either awfully tough or very stupid. One of the two.
Let's go with awfully tough.
Let's go with awfully tough.
How about if you could be coined something else other than World's Strongest Man or World's Strongest Man Alive? If you had that other title, what would that be? Is there anything else that you'd like to kind of be known as?
You know what? I like to be known as somebody like a really good chef.
Okay.
I love cooking and I love eating. They kind of go hand in hand.
Oh, yeah.
And, one day I like to be somebody known in the food world.
What are some of your favorite things to cook and then eat?
I love Cajun,
Nice.
gumbo, jambalaya, etouffee. I love Mediterranean cooking. I love Spanish cooking. I love paellas and like making bisque and different soups.
Now I'm getting hungry. I feel like
Let's go eat.
I was just about to say, we either need to get some food right now or do some kind of like cooking show in the future, because there's a kitchen back there and I'd love to try some Mark Henry eats.
I'd kill it in there
Yeah?
too. I'd kill it.
Is it something that your kids love as well? Like, do you cook for
You
them?
know,
or-
I do, and I teach them to cook because my mother taught me. My mom was a chef, and she taught me a lot about cooking, and a lot of it is preparation and just putting love and time into it. You can't rush it, you know. So if you're a cook, then you have to be patient and have your times down right.
Well, just speaking to your kids, something else that you like to do is play video games with them, and you're fairly competitive, so I've heard. So does it get pretty heated?
I don't just let them win. Like, they're gonna have to really beat me.
They have to earn it.
They have to beat me.
You have any go-to games you've been playing lately?
You know what? It was NBA and 2K
Okay.
and Madden. But now I find myself playing a lot of the virtual reality games.
Really?
You know, you put the
The little goggle type things.
Yeah, the VR.
Yeah.
And we play just like these little racing games.
Cool.
And my times are not very good. I get caught up in looking around and stuff, and
You get
know.
lost in it all.
Yeah, you just get lost in the moment. My daughter's just like, I'm gonna win.
Okay.
So
So do you usually end up
I'm
losing
not.
against them? or
I'm
you'd rather
getting
not
better.
say?
I'm getting better. I'm new.
Okay.
I'm new.
I know you recently saw Black Panther, and you've been tweeting about it quite a bit. So what was your reaction to it?
I thought it was an unbelievable movie, not from just the standpoint of upliftment for black people that don't always have positive role models. There's been a whole bunch of slave movies. There's been a whole lot of movies about violence and negativity. But when you have something positive, it's a wonderful thing. I think one of the best things about the movie is the forgiveness that it talked about. It talked about like having problems, letting it go, and going forward. And that was the positive messages resonated with me.
Are you a big fan of comic books in general? Or?
Yes.
You are?
Yes, I've been buying comics since I was 8 years old.
That's amazing. I've had them since I can remember in my life, so that's awesome.
Yeah.
How about if you could adapt some kind of power in the ring? What would you love to have?
You know what? I always loved the Hulk, but I also love Professor Xavier.
I was gonna say you have the strength
Like the
aspect.
mind
You
control.
don't really need that.
Like I love to like just Jedi mind trick people, just tell
Okay.
people, you know, subliminally what I want and it to happen. You know, if I have people, you know, I'm not a bank robber or nothing like that, but I would be very wealthy
Oh, okay.
if I had the mind control. I would never have to worry about a dollar.
So never giving too much away, but giving
Don't
enough
give too
away.
much away.
We know what you're thinking here. Well, here on AMBY, we not only interview awesome wrestlers, but also musicians. So I just want to talk music with you, just for a little bit.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah, how about if you could have an artist write you some entrance music? Who would you love to see do that?
I like, personally, I would be like Rick Ross.
Okay.
But I like musicians and singers. I like Bruno Mars. I was one of the biggest Prince fans that ever lived because of his versatility and the fact that he was not only an unbelievable singer, but
everything.
I mean, he did it all.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm kind of like a jazz blues type of guy right now, so I'm kind of like in the Gregory Porter.
Okay, so you're going through some phases. And
Yeah, so
Okay,
you know,
cool.
but I like Bruno Mars kind of. It's like the hot thing right now.
I can imagine dancing out to something of his. This stuff does have a pretty good dance tempo. You know to break out a move once in a while?
You know, I can do my thing. I just don't, you know, I don't want to have to be, you know, I don't have to show everybody what I'm working with right now. You know,
Okay.
it's, you know, I'm kind of keeping on the low.
How about when it comes to concerts? Do you have time to get to them often, or are you not so much a concert person?
You know what? The last concert I went to was John Legend about a year ago, and it was really, really good. Sade was on that card. I mean, it was a really, really good show.
Is it hard for you to sneak them in with how busy your travel schedule is?
It is.
Yeah.
It is. And I have a lot more time now than I did. And hopefully in the future I'll be able to get some in.
Well, just to wrap things up, I would like to leave it with the fans. Is there anything you want to say to everybody who'll be viewing? Just any parting words for today?
Well, I'll tell you what, if you have it in your heart to give, you can go to Autism Speaks. You can go to any of the autism websites and give or support or like, whatever you need to do, but just be supportive.
Beautifully put. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
It is my pleasure. And remember, to everybody viewing, you can visit us at musicblogger.com for all exclusive interviews, features, videos, and so much more. See ya.